Yo, how's everybody doing? A little early today. Was done with everything else, so I figured why not kick up the stream. Lee, what's good? How's it going? How's it going? What's up, Sam? Luffy? How's everybody doing, man? Yeah, crazy ass chapter, man. Crazy reaction last night. Stream that we did yesterday. Today's gonna be a lot more chill. We're just kind of chilling, talking about the chapter a little bit, kind of hanging out. One of our more usual type of stream. I am on the wrong scene. Here we go. Perfect. Now we're back up and running. You can see everything. Man, what a chapter, huh? What an absolute chapter. I dropped my chapter review today as well, because I'm going away for the weekend. It's my sister's birthday weekend. So I'm going back to Jersey, my hometown. I currently live in Connecticut. So yeah, won't be able to shoot anything this weekend, so I recorded it early. Unfortunately, file got corrupted, so that screwed everything up. So it was just like the only thing I was able to recover was the audio, unfortunately. But you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna be making a lot more videos on the chapter and stuff, so we good. What's good, Woods? How you doing? Daddy Longlegs, hi. Pickle Jack, what's good? Man, now that everybody's had some time to fully process the chapter and stuff, what do we think? Has anybody changed their minds? Has something's popped up? Because I did see some people didn't love the chapter either. You know, there were some things that people had some issue with, and like, you know, there's a lot of things that do still need to be explained for sure. I liked it to loved it. Yeah, I mean, it's just like when you're in a moment with a chapter like that, it's just like it's very difficult to just not fully embrace it and take it in. And then, you know, the big reveals that they dropped. Like I said in my chapter review, the only thing that I was like, oh, okay, that feels a little weird, was the whole Kanzembo thing, or Kazembo thing, whatever it's called. The whole Chondro thing, essentially. Where I feel like that whole thing was kind of useless. Like, why did we waste a Chondro death to make this fire just spread a fire and then hurt Orochi, but not actually kill him or anything? So that was the only thing I was like, oh, okay. So it's like faking out Chondro's death was really pointless. At least that's how it seems like right now. Do I think Luffy was portrayed in Toon Force? Was that our style thing? I think Oda was just having fun. We gotta remember, like, Oda's a goof, man. Oda's low-key a goofy goober. Okay, like, so I'm sure when he was drawing this shit and like he's gassing up all these big reveals, he, you know, of course set it up with all the foreshadowings and stuff, but like he for sure was like, oh, I'm gonna have fun with this shit. And he just went crazy with it, you know? So like it's kind of just part of his style. Is my light fucking flickering and shit? What's going on? I feel like I'm seeing shit. But yeah. Am I tripping? My light good over here? I feel like it's fucking... Hold on, let me check this light real quick. Might be time to replace my lights, man. Like, this one's over here is fucking flickering like crazy, too. I mean, they still do the trick. You probably don't even really notice them on camera, though. King Scorpio, welcome to the crew. Welcome, welcome. I think Luffy had tune expressions during Gear 5 and actually tune powers. No, I think that was just Oda having fun, in my opinion. I don't think it was anything, like, special. It was just him just kind of going with the art style. I don't think it's going to be like that every time Luffy goes into that power. As far as what his abilities are, I'm going to do that in a separate video, but, like, there's got to be limitations to this, right? Because we think about it, the description that the Gorosei gave was essentially that he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. Like, literally, it was limited to only his imagination. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is, the description of it is literally like, oh, okay, Luffy can just do whatever he wants, which, you know, it's absolutely broken. But instead, I think there's got to be a stamina factor to it, right? Because if you think about the gears, those are really his first big power-ups, that they were all imitations, or, you know, either imitations or things that he was thinking. Whereas Gear 2nd, you know, he wanted to copy Soru from the CP9. And then Gear 3rd, he wanted to make a giant fist. Both of those things, like, he just kind of created with his imagination, which is what the power does. But they also had repercussions. Gear 2nd literally took lifespan from him. Gear 3rd turned him tiny after a bit. Now he knows how to control everything, but, like, initially it still was a problem. I think, like, Gear 4th is essentially the same thing. He imagined this form where, like, Bound Man, where everything is perfect. He can use his rubber perfectly as defense. He can fly. He can coil everything up just like Bellamy and deliver a lot more power. But then, you know, this creation that he made was so draining, he had a time limit on it because of it. And the other thing I was thinking while I was thinking about this power video was that Snake Man and Tank Man, these two forms, we always kind of thought that these were just in his bag this whole time. But what if he came up with those as he was fighting the Sweet Commanders? Like, what if it, like, on the spot, he's like, okay, I need something super big to just be able to tank Cracker's attack. Okay, Tank Man, I've eaten a lot of food, this is how I want it to be, and then he just transforms into Tank Man and creates it. Same thing with Snake Man. He probably thought, okay, I needed something really fast, something to be able to really stretch myself out and bring the speed out of me, and that's how I create Snake Man. So I think that, like, it's very possible that both of those forms he kind of just came up with on the fly, as opposed to having them in his bag this whole time, right? And what else? Like, it's crazy, like, just like, now that the definition of his fruit is kind of shifted, just like the amount of things that he could do, whether that's with fire or like other things that he mimics, is just, it opens up so much. It's absolutely insane. Hector Menendez, thank you for super chat. Since Luffy kind of mimics things, is it crazy to say Luffy came back on the sole reason that he heard Brook's story and figured it out? What do you mean by that? Hold on. Since Luffy kind of mimics things, is it crazy to say Luffy came back on the sole reason he heard Brook's story and figured it out? Brook's story with Laboon? I'm not catching... Am I dumb? I'm not really getting the question. Can you explain it a little more? Maybe I'm just not... Maybe I'm... Okay, saying... Like, there's a lot of things he kind of mimics. Yeah, he for sure mimics things. What is that? What do you mean by the Brook story part, though? As to how he died. Oh, okay. Like how Brook literally came back to life. Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. That would be pretty wild. Man. If the fruit can do that, where you can literally copy other devil fruit abilities to that extent, because that's not like... So far, everything he's copied has been pretty physical, right? The changes that he's made, everything's been physical. If he's able to copy Paramecia, Mythical Zone powers, like if all of a sudden he's like, oh, I really like Marco's healing abilities, I'm gonna do that as well. And he could just do that shit, that's, I don't know, man, that would be pretty wild. I feel like he can't copy one-to-one because that would be very broken. I think it still has to be constricted to what he's able to do, I guess, with rubber to an extent, right? It's at the end of the day, his body is still made of rubber, which I will say that part needs to be explained. We still have no understanding of why Nika is made of rubber. That was just kind of a weird combination, right? It's like, oh, it's this god, but you're also made of rubber for some reason. Like, okay, why though? Like, we need that answer, you know what I mean? So like that's definitely one of the things where it's like, okay, does that actually make sense? Is that something we're just gonna have to let slip by and kind of accept, or is there actual reason? I hope there's a reason, but so far hasn't been explained yet. But that's a really interesting thought, Hector. I didn't even think about it like that. My initial thought was like, oh, he just wanted to wake up. So like the rubber just kind of just like went with his imagination of getting back up and not losing, and maybe just pumped his fucking heart like crazy and just woke his ass up with like electric shock of some sort. Like literally just like what is it called? A defibrillator, I guess. It just like blasted his ass back up. CG constantly growing. The mythical zone was barely foreshadowed, bro. I understand that sentiment as well. The setup on it, there's parts that I don't agree with either. Like the Gorosei saying like, oh, we haven't been able to get this fruit this whole time. It's like, what do you mean? Like, why didn't you? If you knew this whole time, you probably should have just sent Akainu after his ass. He would have gotten it, that's for sure. Like, I don't really get that. So there's a lot to be answered. I'm willing to just wait for now and just kind of enjoy the moment, because that's part of the problem with reading week to week, is that there's always things to come, and it's way too early to judge with a lot of these things. You know what I mean? What I'm thinking about is Blackbeard got his 2 double. Yeah, that's another thing. Blackbeard versus Luffy is a whole nother thing now. Like, it's just got so much better because of how so many of these powers kind of negate each other. It's actually insane. One of my main issues is now that Luffy has the most busted, sought-after fruit of all time. I spent the last 15 years believing Luffy was making the most of a Luffy fruit. I understand that sentiment, bro. I understand that sentiment. And that Luffy is now like special and he was gifted. But you gotta think, right? Think about it like this, all right? Like Luffy, from the moment we found out he was Roger's son, and from the moment we found out he had Conqueror's Haki, we already knew he was special. This is another thing. This is one of a bigger thing, but like at the end of the day, he still has to be the one to figure this out. Remember, like this fruit still, even though it's the strongest fruit, it has not been awakened for 800 years. So Luffy had to actually do that himself, right? Luffy had to not only do that himself, and what he's able to make use of this fruit is based off of the limits of his own imagination, right? So like if you gave this fruit to like a boring ass man, he's not gonna really do much with it. So like the power of this fruit is really on the potential of the user as well. So in that way, I'm kind of not mad at it. Whereas like Luffy at the end of the day is still the one that has to put in the work. And from like I said, like he's a special character. That's always been true in the story. The only thing I don't personally like is when you really push the boundaries too much and make him this Destiny child that was always fated to be this person. Instead, I think what it needs to be is like he's a special person that had a lot of luck come his way, but everything that he's gonna achieve, him becoming Joy Boy and everything, all the powers that he gains, all the allies that he gains, the titles and accomplishments that he achieves is all going to come down to him still at the end of the day. Same thing with Shanks. And Shanks giving him the Straw Hat, believing in Luffy. I still think that was because Shanks saw Luffy, what type of person he was, how committed he was, how he stood up for his friends, and that's why he believed in Luffy. Now, him eating the fruit was definitely a big reason as well, but I think it still, at the end of the day, all comes back to Luffy. You feel me? How do I feel about Gear 5? I thought it'd be more serious, not mad, just trying to see what I'm coming from. So Draco, like the form of Gear 5, don't think of it as like one form, right? Like Gear 4th, for example. If you think of Gear 4th, there's not really one thing that pops up, because there's Tank Man, there's Snake Man, there's Bound Man, obviously the one that pops up the most often, right? So Gear 4th was already interchangeable. Gear 5th now, Luffy is in this base form, but his Gear 5th is essentially his awakening. He's unlocked the ability of a stronger rubber body and the ability to push his imagination even further. So even though he's in this similar like just base looking form with like crazier hair and like some smoke surrounding him, he's going to be changing back and forth like we see in the last chapter, right? Gear third, just big ass hand coming through. He flexes, some big ass muscles start growing. Like he's just going to be changing interchangeable through all of these things that he creates with his imagination, whether that's old forms. I'm sure he's going to upgrade some things, right? So like that base form is just him, and then he's going to be switching in and out in so many things. So gear fifth is not really one thing. It's more so an ability like we saw with gear fourth. So like, don't think of it so much as a form like a Super Saiyan or even gear second or gear third. It's more so just an ability that is so much more flexible than before. And I kind of like the design. Like I always liked, is this just me? Did you guys like the gear fourth battles of Luffy better? Because personally, I always liked base form Luffy fights better. Like gear second Luffy fighting with like changing in and out like a gear second, gear third, like that was the best fights of Luffy. Like gear fourth was perfect in like little spurts, but I still like seeing base Luffy using his hockey and his combat abilities, kind of just wrecking people that way. Those were still my favorite types of Luffy. So the fact that he's in like this similar base form with just like crackhead eyes and like a new hairstyle, I'm fine with. I kind of like it. Anime Dimension, thank you for the super chat. I think Luffy's fruit is a combination of all three types: Paramecia, Logia, and Zoan. We know that Para Awakening affects surroundings. Zoan, Nika. For now, I don't have a good explanation for Logia type. Mythical Zoan, right, is the strongest, the most rare. So by that alone, we could just assume it has the craziest abilities. So like we don't have to try to figure out it has like what category. Like because like Marco the Phoenix, you can argue that he has all three like similar capacities or capabilities as all three categories. You could shoot through him. You could go into this Phoenix form like an actual Zoan, but he's also made of fire like a Logia, and then he has healing abilities like a Paramecia would, right? So like Luffy, any mythical Zoan is gonna kind of fall into that same category. You know, Kaido could create like random bunch of elemental attacks that like you probably usually see out of a Paramecia or a Logia. He of course can transform into a big ass dragon as well. There's just a mythical Zoan. We should have seen it coming with mythical Zoan because it was always the strongest category. So it made all the sense for the main character to have that, right? Am I remembering wrong? In Indy's lobby wasn't it stated you know the name? No, so Sam, let me clarify this real quick, all right? I think it's crazy like how far this has gotten. So Indy's lobby, there was a mistranslation essentially that like once you eat the fruit, you know the name of the fruit, right? Like the fruit fucking whispers to you once you eat it, right? Like once you eat it, like you just hear like, oh, Gomu Gomu no Mi or some shit like that, right? But that's not what happens. It was clarified by multiple people that the way it works is that when you eat the fruit, you figure out your abilities, and then you can look that fruit up in the encyclopedia or whatever to really figure out what your fruit is. So for Luffy, obviously he's not going to look up the encyclopedia. He didn't eat the fruit and find out the fruit's name. Okay, he ate the fruit and then he was told that it was the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and that's what he's been using this whole time. And that's why I think he's gonna keep using. I don't think he's gonna start going Hito Hito no Mi, Nika Nika pistol. Like he's not gonna start doing that. He's not gonna care. He's like, oh, I have the Gomu Gomu no Mi. I don't care what people say, you know. Blackbeard's Yami Yami no Mi is a mythical Zoan. That's an interesting take. I still think he has a third mythical Zoan that's allowed him to eat these three fruits. That's probably the one I back the most, but Yami Yami actually being like, you know, being in the wrong category, that would also be kind of interesting as a nice parallel to Luffy. Kaido backstory. What do you guys think we're going to get this Kaido backstory? At the end of this fight, in the middle of this fight? It's definitely coming soon. I don't think this fight's going to last more than another 4 or 5 chapters, to be honest. Like, I've thought this fight would end for a long time now, and it hasn't. But I think now is actually the time. It's actually going to happen. I don't see Luffy's fruit as busted fruit when it hasn't been awakened. Exactly, King Scorpio. You know, like Luffy is the one that has to awaken it. He's the one that has to use his imagination to make it happen at the end of the day. So the fact that that's part of the power, I'm okay with. Yeah, Gear second, Jet Gatling. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Base form Luffy attacks were always the best, bro. Gear second to this day is probably still my favorite. It's just a speedier Luffy that's fucking fast and strong, man. The just pistol on Blue Note when he just knocked his ass out. Oof, that was so clean. I'm a little biased because Enies Lobby and Water 7 are my favorite arcs. How do I feel as Nika was handled differently? I think it would have been awesome if Nika was in every Devil Fruits, but it takes special personality to awaken spirit within the fruits. Interesting. Maybe it was waiting for the right person because there is a will, I guess, within the fruits. I'm still waiting to hear more about that because I think that probably leads to more information about how Devil Fruits were created. But I like to think, I mean, it kind of works that way as well, in that Luffy was the right person because of his beliefs. As long as it's been waiting for Luffy specifically this whole time, I'm cool with that. As long as it goes back to Luffy as a person and his ideals and his personality and his abilities, I'm cool with it. Kaido had a wife. He had to make Yamato somehow. How long backstories in manga? I'm new to reading the manga. They're usually, I would say, everything in the manga goes by a lot quicker, for sure. Some of the backstories are pretty long, like the Big Mom backstory, I think went on. I mean, it depends. It really depends. You know, sometimes you get a Corazon level type of flashback. Sometimes you get an Odin level flashback that went on like 10, 15 chapters almost, right? I think the Kaido one won't be super long. I would imagine a good length, 5 to 7 chapters. Could be a little shorter. Maybe probably could be a little shorter. Maybe even a little longer because he is the main villain, right? We need to find out really like his full story and everything. So like, yeah, I would say probably 5 to 7 chapters. I'd be happy. Odin's backstory was really more than Odin's backstory. We got like the Roger Pirates backstory out of that shit. Do I think Gear 5th is a hybrid? See, the forms is what's kind of interesting, right? Because technically it gives the user rubber abilities. So is Luffy in his regular form already in hybrid because he has the rubber abilities? Or is it like same thing as Marco healing people in his base form, where he's like using the abilities as his base form? It's kind of crossing the lines a little bit. I really need more explanation on that, even if it just comes in an SBS or something. But yeah, we just gonna have to wait and see. Multiple god fruits. We hear about the sun god. We hear rain, forest, earth. Luffy isn't I mean, yeah, Sengoku's a Buddha. So like, there's more god fruits out there. I made the joke yesterday that who knows, maybe Imu busts out the Jesus no me. Hito no me model Jesus. Man starts sprinting across the water Naruto style. Like, who knows? Like, there could be more. It seems like that's the peak of the Devil Fruit realm, is the mythical Zoans that are modeled after gods. That seems like a peak. So there could definitely be more, you know? If you get too much Kaido backstory, we need rocks. That has to be a big part of it. We need more of rocks. So like, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe if we do get more rocks, we could get like a close to Odin level flashback, because the Raja Pirate stuff we got a whole bunch of. But at the same time, like, I'm not sure if we spend like 2-3 chapters. We got, because with Odin we got like the beginning of his life, then we had like 2-3 chapters on the Raja Pirates, then we had like 3-4 chapters on like coming back to Wano. Kaido, I think maybe like a chapter or 2 in the beginning of his life. Then the Rocks Pirates could get like 3-4 chapters, and then maybe we get 2-3 chapters on the like how life was for him after Rocks. So like, I think 5 to 8 chapters makes sense. Only chapters of Hito no Mi normal users, Sengoku, Luffy, Onimaru is mythical. Bro, I didn't even think about Onimaru. Hold on, what is Onimaru's fruit? What did he eat? He did also eat the Hito no Mi. Damn, I didn't even think about that. It is a... Damn, bro. Onimaru has a fucking mythical zone. That's kind of wild, bro. That's that's kind of wild. My man has a mythical zone. Why did I think it was like his ability? For some reason, I thought it was his own ability. But yeah, where the fuck did Onimaru get a mythical zone from? This is going Hito no Mi Mado Unyudo. A large monk yokai. Yeah. Who the fuck is racing out there, dude? We live in like a suburban ass apartment complex. Moon God Fruit out there founded a Kazuki clan. The moon and sun stuff has always been a little confusing to me because I think at this point it's very obvious the sun symbolism that's at play here, right? With all the symbols that we see with the allies of the Great Kingdom, Alabasta, Sun Pirates, Skypiea, Kazuki clan and stuff like that. And of course, this is going to bring on the dawn of the new world. And, you know, Bink Sake even has lyrics in there relating to the sun. The moon part, I've never quite figured out exactly what his relation is, whether it's the other side or the enemy. But at the same time, there's been like lyrics that say like the moon kind of helps things, right? It's like the shining light in the darkness. It seemed maybe it's a possibility that darkness is actually referring to evil and the moon is actually the shining light to kind of guide, because there's the sun and the moon, they kind of guide each other. The moon is also a pretty big symbol as well in a lot of allies too. So the moon's always been the confusing thing for me, that I need to kind of sit down and gather all the information and kind of put it together. Tankman has dad bod. I mean, that's what he was doing, bro. He's chowing down. Will this be the first main villain Luffy actually kills? I don't think Luffy kills anybody. Will Kaido die? Possibly. It won't be by Luffy, though. Somebody else could come through and kill him, for sure, but I don't think Luffy is doing that. Kaido will join Luffy. That is even more unlikely, my guy. What if Blackbeard has a moon god? Maybe that's his mythical zone. I mean, the way it's going, like, what if Blackbeard has a Hito no mean some kind of moon god that we don't know, right? Like, it's no use trying to figure out what the actual religious connection is, and like, is it Hanuman or Sun Wukong? What are the big relations to Blackbeard? Because Oda could just make some shit up. Nika, the sun god, that's not real. He just made that shit up. Like, it's impossible for us to theorize at this point, you know? Like, and I'm sure, like, a lot of people definitely guess, oh, Nika, it might be the Nika no Mi, but I will bet my life that nobody was like, it will be the Nika no Mi, and here are the powers. It's gonna give you the properties of rubber, but your imagination is the actual power. I guarantee nobody fucking guessed that shit, because that just feels random as shit. Like, it's like, what? It has rubber and you could just create whatever you want? Doesn't make any sense. Like, what does that even mean? Kaido has to die because Whitebeard died in a previous war arc. I mean, if anything, this arc parallels Thriller Bark more than anything. Not really Marineford, to be honest. So you have to think more in turn. And Kaido is essentially the oars here, as opposed to the Whitebeard. The only thing we didn't get is like a Straw Hats holding off Kaido before a crazy elevated Luffy comes back and saves the day. Now, this does mean if it parallels it in that way, after Luffy wins, he's going to be absolutely beat up, which makes sense because he's already been beat up like 12 times. Who's going to be the Kuma of this arc? Is it Big Mom coming back into play? Is it the world government? If that is so, who's going to save the day this time? Zoro might be already dead. Like, we haven't seen where this man is. He's in trouble. So, like, you know, like, who's going to be the Kuma here? Could be Big Mom. I don't think Big Mom is done here. The world government could certainly make a move. At the same time, let's not forget, big-ass elephant parked by the side of Wano. So, you know, they got some support, at least. They got some support. Shanks is not an evil dude. If Shanks comes, he's helping. I don't think Shanks is coming to be like, Luffy, finally, I've groomed you this whole time to fucking kill you or some shit. Like, no, that not. And Evil Shanks never made any sense to me. I will always stand by Evil Shanks does makes zero sense. Makes zero sense. Vegapunk and SSG, yeah, Vegapunk, I've been on that train, but I think Vegapunk as an ally is a thing. I don't think they're gonna be the Kuma. The SSG maybe, but I feel like Vegapunk helps. I still think Vegapunk's a good dude. Maybe that's a twist. That could be true, but I think Vegapunk has to come. I'm with you on that one. Still wondering why Joy Boy's hat was so big. We don't know if that's Joy Boy's hat. That's just a giant straw hat. I mean, that's another thing that could come into play. Like, Luffy could literally become a giant at this point if he wants with his powers. Like, think about all the races in One Piece. Like, that could be a factor. He could just start looking at all these races and other devil fruits and drawing a bunch of inspiration. That could be part of the reason it brought laughter to so many people, because Joy Boy was kind of imitating everybody's forms and stuff, accepting everybody, right? There's a lot of history connected to that fruit. Like, the way they explained it, like, half of it was about its powers, about how yeah, it's made of rubber and you could really use your imagination. But the other half was like really about its history, how it brought smiles on people's faces, and also that it was like the warrior of liberation and the embodiment of it, right? So like, there's so much information that we need that we're probably not gonna get until at least this fight is over. But yeah, we just gotta wait. That's just part of the drill with One Piece. People have been waiting 25 plus years for this stuff, so you know, can't be impatient out here. Where do I rank Luffy? I said this yesterday. I'm a narrative power scaler, right? A lot of people, I think in my opinion, there are two types of power scalers. There are like analysis power scalers, where they look at like all these little interactions and try to figure out who's stronger. I don't got energy for that. So me, I always just think, okay, in the story, what does it make sense? And for me, I think Blackbeard, he's going to be one of the final villains, so he's going to be one of the strongest in the verse. I think he already has all three of his devil fruits, and he's going to be that big final boss that can actually step up to Luffy. So I already think Blackbeard is the strongest. Right below him, I have Monkey D. Dragon. Why? Because think about the other two family members. Monkey D. Garp, Monkey D. Luffy. The guy that went head-to-head against the previous Pirate King, and the guy that's going to surpass the previous Pirate King. And in the middle, you have Monkey D. Dragon. This guy's like in his prime. He's a young lad. He's leading the Revolutionary Army. He has to be a fucking tank. So I'm putting him third, even though we have not seen a goddamn thing from him. Like, feat-wise, he grabbed Smoker. Like, that was it. That was all he did. So it's not very impressive, but I'm standing by that one. And then after that, I think you have like a Kainu right there with Kaido and Big Mom, and Luffy's about like right there, I would say. You know, as Shanks, Mihawk are both there as well. I think Luffy's been getting into that territory. After this fight, he's gonna surpass Kaido, I think. So he's gonna be right up there in that top 5 territory. Just like Jason Tatum. Eternal Light, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate you, man. Bring back the Gomu Gomu no Mi. It is going to be weird when they change it on the wiki, though, isn't it? Like, when they change it on the wiki, and it's like the Hito Hito all of a sudden. And I want to see this gag, too, where, like, Chopper and Luffy are like, oh, we actually have the same fruit. There's a lot of fun you can have with it. But I think Luffy will still call it the Gomu Gomu no Mi, you know? It's always going to be that to him. His hand can be as big as... His whole body could be as big as a real giant at this point. Imagine Kaido dying and letting Luffy escape Wano. I mean, Luffy's gonna win. I don't think, like, Luffy has to escape. I think Luffy and the Alliance are gonna win. Everybody else has lost on Kaido's side. It's just Kaido left. What are Blackbeard's 3 devil fruits? He already has 2. We already know the Yami Yami, Guru Guru, and I think the third one is whatever allowed him to eat the other 2. I think that makes sense. That's like, you know, there's been a lot of theories about him having multiple souls and stuff like that, but I think the third fruit being a mythical Zoan that gave him the ability to eat multiple devil fruits makes sense. A Celtics fan? What are you living in the 1980s, bro? Like, Boston is not quite the city it used to be. I'm sure there's still plenty of racism within the city, but I'm not even from Boston, so. I still want to see Lodestar, God Valley, and Elbath. I think we will get all of those. We have to. Lodestar specifically is the underrated one people always overlook. In that, like, that's been the destination the Straw Hats been trying to get to this whole time. That's been their laugh tale up until they found out where laugh tale always was. I don't think they just shift gears. It'd be kind of weird. Like, I want to see Nami go to Lodestar, because for some reason nobody else has made it to Lodestar either besides the Roger Pirates. So it will be a feat in itself. There's definitely got some information there. Nekomamushi even said so. And Crocus definitely sent them there for a reason. So they have to go to Lodestar. God Valley, if it's not destroyed, maybe they'll go too. But we'll definitely find out more about it. And Elbath has to happen because of Usopp. Elbath has to happen. Luffy defeats Kaido, realizes he's Joy Boy, helps the Straw. Now, Kaido's not helping anybody, man. Kaido's not helping anybody. Kaido's gonna die happy when he fights a worthy opponent, and that's gonna be the most he's gonna do. He's a dickbag. He's not getting redeemed. He's put this country through 20 years of torture. Like, not everybody has to be redeemed. I don't want him to be redeemed. I want him to remain a menace that he is. A battle-crazed fucking maniac. Luffy doesn't know if he's his own yet. It's only the Gorosei and Shanks. Yeah, I mean, eventually maybe he'll find out. But I don't think he'll care, to be honest. Luffy never really cared much about any of these things. I think they won't change the wiki name because Gomu Gomu no Mi is the new name and it can be a spoiler to some. I mean, that hasn't really changed for money. Like, I'm pretty sure they changed Hiyori's name when it was revealed in the manga as well. So, like, you know, it's always based off of the manga first, you know? Lodestar will be Nami's Island. Yamil, I don't know if you're a longtime fan or we just got the same brains, bro. It's been something I've been saying since last year, honestly. Like, I've been saying for a long, long time. Lodestar will be Nami's Island. Lunarian or Three-Eyed, I'm sure it has a lot of lore, for sure. Kaido having the Kraken, for sure, possible. I've seen the theory. The 8 and 3 pop up a lot. We've seen a lot of octopus symbolisms. Possible, absolutely. Kaido relieved is alive. Yeah, he probably has an awakening in his bag as well. This battle is gonna be absolutely peak. Like, it's not gonna be easy. Luffy's gonna go fucking ballistic and probably like nearly kill himself in this final battle. He'll win, but like Kaido's gonna be enjoying this. The Goro no Mi again? Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Blackbeard's, it has to be a mythical zone. Can you imagine if it's just like oh, okay. All I had was the ancient Zoan Velociraptor. Like, that's all he had this whole time. It's like, yeah. This is what you've been waiting for. In which way will Luffy's body be affected after the fight Gear 5th? Think about how he's affected already with his other gears. He literally lost lifespan the first time he used Gear 2nd, turned into a midget when he used Gear 3rd, and Gear 4th he could only use to 5 minutes. Even up until like 5 minutes ago, he still was only able to use Gear 5th for 5 minutes, right? So Gear 5th now it's like he could just go crazy with it, but it's gonna have repercussions. You feel me? It's not just gonna be like him just going ballistic and do whatever he wants. Thoughts on Zoro right now? I honestly don't know. I think he's gonna be okay, but I have not a clue where Oda is going with this, like having Zoro on the verge of death. I really don't understand. Really have no idea. The number theory has changed now? Which number theory? Zoro's eye, listen. If it's actually something, I'll take the L on it. I've always said it's just a scar. I just think it's a scar. I don't think him opening that eye is going to help him that much because everything comes down to observation hockey these days. Fujitora is fucking blind and man's still a beast. Like, so I don't think Zoro losing one eye is really that big of a deal. We haven't seen any other eye abilities in the story. Like, there's no fucking Sharingan or anything like that. So, like, I really don't. I think it's some symbolism with Rayleigh and also Ryuma, or not Ryuma, or Ushimaru, I guess, or is it Ryuma? One of those, right? I think it's just kind of used for symbolism. And it's a kind of a dope look for him. But hey, if it turns out to be something, I'll gladly take the L. I'm sure it'll be hype. How strong is Roxy Zebek? One of the strongest. Guy's an absolute monster. That's for sure. Seen a chapter in the Skypiea that mentioned a sun god, but only a moon god. Yeah, I did see that. Somebody mentioned it earlier as well. Do I think they'll be relevant? Maybe. Maybe they were like, let's say sun god was Joy Boy back in the day. And it was Joy Boy with the Nika fruit, right? And he was like the sun god. And like maybe they were the allies of the Great Kingdom and Joy Boy. Or like, let's say the moon god was actually Emu, and Emu rebelled and Emu turned, right? There's a lot of different ways the lore can go. We just don't have enough info right now. You feel me? Like, all we have is like 3 sentences here, 1 thing there, this thing from a color spread, and we have to try to piece it together to create an entire 100 years of history. Like, it's, oh man. I mean, some people have attempted and probably have done a very good job of doing so, but you know, it's too exhausting to try to figure it out. The Devil Fruit number. Oh, Ohara said 5 and 6 are open now. Gomu Gomu no, and Gomu Gomu is not Goro. Goro no mi. Maybe Nami will eat it. I mean, the number theory might be broken now, because now you have 2 Hitos. You know, like, I feel like that could be one of the things where it's like a random coincidence. Somebody mentioned it, and Oda's like, I'm just gonna fuck with them. You know? It's like, oh, they think they're onto something. They're not, but I'm gonna just fuck with them. You know? Like, that would be totally something Oda would do. And there's like Oda's like written 1,044 chapters of story here, and he does a lot of interlacing, foreshadowing and stuff. And you know, there's even more information that comes out at the SBSs and Viva cards. And while he definitely foreshadows a lot of things, I think he does accidentally create a lot of these like symbolisms and foreshadowings and connections that people pick up and are like, Goda, and he's like, I didn't mean to do that, but cool. All right, I take it. Like, you guys could run with it. You know, like probably some of the Straw Hat prerequisites that people have come up with is like, oh, the second person is always tied to a pole or captured in some way. Some of those are definitely not true. Like, some of those are definitely just coincidences, and like, you know, like people are just kind of running with them. So that's why whenever I look at a next Straw Hat candidate, I'm just like, do they like Luffy? Does Luffy have a strong connection with them? Do they make sense for the crew? Do they have a dream? That's like, let's just look at it basically, right? Like, instead of trying to say, oh, okay, they're like, this could be their role and this connects with this third member in the new world and shit like that. And then, like, I think Kara was one of the biggest things people try to push, even myself, for a while, where it's like, oh, okay, like, all these little things make sense. She's strong, she's diverse, and like a race that the Straw Hats have never had before, and she could be a lookout, you know, like another female, all this kind of stuff. But then you just look at the story, she's been irrelevant for over like 100 to 200 chapters at this point. So it's just like, I don't think she's joining if that's the case. You feel me? Yamil, I know you're going to keep holding on strong, but I respect the hustle. The bounty of Zebek, would it be higher? I don't think so. Then maybe. Nah, I think, no. It was stated that Roger and Whitebeard had the highest bounties of a pirate ever. So Zebek was still lower than both of them. So if that's the case, I mean, Kaido's already at what? Like 4.9 something? Zebek was probably up there, close to 5. Close to 5, I would say. You're already in Mad OP now. What if the Germa genes... Are you talking about Sanji? Sanji's Germa genes already activated, man. He's going ham. With the blue Ifrit Jambe as well. Sanji's living. Why Gear 5 would have side effect if he's actually having fun? I mean, I'm sure he's had fun before and then... and just face consequence. I don't think having fun has anything to do with it. Also, a lot of people think he is having fun. I'm sure he's having fun, but I think he's running on adrenaline. I think his body's clearly taking an absolute beating. If you think he's not gonna face repercussions for that, that's definitely not gonna be true. I think he has to face repercussions for that. Nigel, what's good, bro? Glad you could make it, man. Hunter Phantom, what's up? Day's been pretty good. One of my video files got corrupted for the chapter review. That was unfortunate. That was very sad. Damn, got one more hour of building motors. Damn. I'm not sure if I'm going to be alive for that long because at that point it'll be 2 hours at that point. But we'll see. Maybe, I mean, next week. We could always do next week, you know, open up the stage and stuff. You know. Usopp-centric arc. That's why we need Elbaf, man. Usopp's taking a back seat here in Wano. But, like, he's gonna get it in Elbaf. He's absolutely gonna get his shine in Elbaf. And it can happen in so many ways if Yasopp is there. Of course, like, this is the island he's been wanting to go to for a whole time. I had a headcanon theory that maybe Oda is having him be very unimpressive in Wano to kind of set up him going into Elbaf with some low self-esteem. And if he meets his dad there and he has to kind of present himself as a strong, brave warrior, and of course he's going to lie, and eventually when you lie, you're going to get found out. So like there's could be a lot of emotional roller coasters that go for Usopp there. Eventually he will prove himself, absolutely, but you know, possibilities in Elbaf are endless with the lore as well. I think Elbaf could still end up being the best arc in One Piece. Wano, like, I've had issues with Wano so far, but I think Wano at the end of the day will at the very least end up as a top 5 because it's had the peaks of Wano are just like insanely high, right? Like there's been low moments, slow moments. There's been things I didn't like. But the peaks of Wano is just insane. And it looks like the way everything's getting wrapped up here, it's going to be dope. Like, Luffy's going to defeat Kaido, and we're going to wrap things up probably with some even more rivals from other people. It's going to be top 5 for me. Maybe even possibly surpassing Marineford. Enies Lobby and Water 7 will always be very difficult to pass for me. That combo of an arc, I don't think there's a single thing wrong with it, and it gives me the most monumental character moments in there. Like One Piece, like this arc has had the hype moments, but the character moments haven't quite hit the same as some of the other ones. Safama, where you been, bro? Gotta stay alive in the Discord. Check out notifications there. Best arc is Thriller Bark. Hey, yo, Tem, come on now, that's cap. You know that's cap. If you really did like Thriller Bark that much, respect to you. But that is Thriller Bark to this day is one of the only arcs that I have not reconsumed in some way. I really should though, with the amount of parallels it has to Wano. Why Blackbeard doesn't sleep? I think it relates to either his third devil fruit, the mythical Zoan, or whatever his ability is to give him the ability to eat 3 devil fruits, whether that's soul or whatever. Blackbeard shows up and kills Kaido. I don't think it's a time for Blackbeard at this point, to be honest. I think Blackbeard just save him for his own arc at this point. We don't need Blackbeard. We don't need Shanks. Let's just keep this a Kaido. Like, we already have Big Mom, who, you know, kind of has been used a little bit as a plot convenience here and there. And it really has been, you know, there's been some lowlights. It's been some lowlights for Big Mom. I don't need Blackbeard show up to be like a minor character for 3 chapters and then just dip out again. Like, give us an update in the aftermath or intermission if we have another one. And that's all we need. Set it up for the future arc and then let him be the main guy. You feel me? Appreciate that, Safama. You know, got to represent the Celtics. We've been just slaughtering teams recently. Got the green in the background as well. No basketball till Sunday, though. Luckily, One Piece dropped an absolute banger. And then this weekend, I'm going back to Jersey to celebrate my sister's birthday. So that's gonna be a fun weekend. It's gonna delay the videos a little bit, unfortunately, but you know, I'll be back on a regular schedule next week. Probably drop a video by Tuesday. Luffy low diffs Tatum. All right, like, come on now. Luffy low diffs everybody in the NBA. Let's be real here. Maybe the dark fruit is a Zoan since he's still tangible, but then what would be the third fruit? You know, then he would need another Paramecia. I don't think we need to necessarily convert the Yami Yami to a Zoan just because Luffy's has become a Zoan. Blackbeard could just have a Zoan that he's had this whole time that's allowed him to get the other two monstrous fruits that he's kind of planned for. What's my theory on the next chapter? Luffy versus Kaido going full out. There's nobody else to deal with. Everybody else has been defeated. Denjiro's the only one left that has just disappeared off the panel. And at this point, I stopped caring about him. I don't think I care anymore. Momonosuke kills Kaido? That would be pretty wild. That would be a massive W for him. I'm not sure if he could, even if Kaido's down. He's got that tough hide, you know? Blackbeard's going to become a final villain. He does fight Luffy. I think Imu's the final battle, but Blackbeard will be one of the final pirates that Luffy fights. Definitely, probably the final pirate that he fights, at least before becoming the Pirate King. Connection with Zebek? Absolutely, for sure he does, because he took over the Pirate Island. So the Rocks Pirates' old base, so there's got to be a connection there for sure. Apu is alive and running around. I don't know if he's going to do anything besides spread rumors at this point, to be honest. The only few people left, there's a third CP0 guy. Probably still going after Robin and Brooke now, I guess. Maybe he's going to report back to the Gorosei now, and they'll be like, go interrupt that fight once again. And this time, they're not going to let it happen. It's not going to go well for that guy, all right? Dripper put in the work. Showed up with a hole in his chest and still interrupted the fight. But if this guy tries to do the same thing, he's getting clapped. He's getting clapped. It's not going to happen again. But besides that, who you got? Like, Big Mom's at the bottom of Wano. Brooke and Robin are probably fine. Zoro still has to recover, but that's just like, he doesn't have to defeat anybody. Denjiro's just off doing his own thing somewhere. All the Beast Pirates are down. All the Beast Pirates are down at this point. Denjiro versus third CP0 guy? Can you imagine, like, we waited all this time for Denjiro versus third CP0 guy? I don't care at this point. Would anybody actually care about Denjiro versus third CP0 guy at this point? Especially as we're building towards the climax of Luffy versus Kaido? If we actually jump to that, I'll be like, I do not give a shit. Like, fucking off-panel this shit something. Like Izo did. Izo 2v1 off-panel one of the guys. Give Denjiro the same treatment. I do not care at this point, bro. Third CP0 guy. That's all he deserves. He does not deserve a name. That's what he is. That's all he is at this point. JD Rich. Hey man, I would like to discuss with you Blackbeard being born with a double fruit. Remember, Buggy said he's never been able to sleep. So I believe his birth that Blackbeard's mom going through. So you think like his mom somehow passed on the devil fruit to Blackbeard? Possible. I've been a lot more accepting of the idea that Blackbeard has had the third devil fruit this whole time. So it's very possible like he's had it since he was a kid. And I think it's very likely it's the reason why he eat three devil fruits for sure. All Luffy attacks copy things, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's something we've been pointing out, like even as we were theorizing before this chapter dropped. We just didn't know it was gonna be like this Nika, like the abilities. Who could have predicted that? Oh yeah, it's actually a god that Oda created, and it has the properties of rubber, but you can also just do whatever the hell you want with your imagination. Like that's just the most random power ever. Like feels like a little bit of a plot convenience, but hopefully it gets explained. Like why is rubber even involved there? We need a proper explanation for that. Or I'm gonna call it out like it is. Like it would be a plot convenience that rubber is just kind of randomly a property, you know? The Grin Jolly Pyro, what's up, man? How's it going? What happened to Captain Peachbeard? Into the abyss of people that the audience does not care about anymore. Oh, Schoolboy Collins is his name? Nah, I'm calling him CP0, the third CP0 guy. He doesn't deserve a name, okay? The only person that deserves a name is Dripper Scarfino. Maha, we already know his name, so we'll keep that one. But third CP0 guy is staying third CP0 guy. Because he's irrelevant. Threatening contraptions, and in order to deliver a child safely, she sacrificed her life eating a devil fruit that removes sleep from the user, ability to manipulate on someone else. However, I believe she ate this fruit to have painless birth. She delivered. Here's the thing, like it sounds interesting, but like, what's the evidence, man? There's a lot of theories we could just kind of talk about and be like, whoa, this is interesting. This could be fun, but you need stuff to back it up. Or else it's just headcanon. You can't really call it a theory, you know? I have a lot of headcanons like that myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm right there with you. But if there's plenty of theories like Shanks' Rocksteady's Zebek's son. We don't have any information to really back that at all. You feel me? Can third CP0 guy take fainted Luffy after the battle? Listen, I mean, I think Jinbei could probably bust his ass at this point. If a defeated Izo just took out the other guy like it was nothing, Jinbei could just kick this guy's ass. Or Brook could do it too. Why not? He hasn't had a fight. If you think the samurai, after Luffy saved their country, just leaves them undefended like that, and like allows the third CP0 guy and the Straw Hats allows them to just do that, but like that would be a rough look for the samurai and the Straw Hats. There's no fight between Zoro and Sanji. Zoro kills Sanji, that's it? What are you talking about, man? How did Zoro killing Sanji even come into this? Everybody's just talking about regular things. Zoro and Sanji are crewmates. Stop trying to compare them. They have a friendly rivalry. They respect each other. You and the one Straw Hat has similar thoughts on a chapter. Cough, cough, collab. The last video you said you saw you dropped was like mad long ago, bro. Like, is he still posting these days? I never talked to the guy, so you know. I mean, I'm always open to collabs. I just have a very weird schedule because I still edit all my videos myself and stuff, so. If Zoro grows facial hair, will he be Greenbeard? Why not? Give it to him. Thank you for the super chat, though. Greenbeard. We need a green beard, to be honest. The Cerebus, I mean, the only thing we have backing the Cerebus is the 3 devil fruits, 3 heads, but you could apply that to so many other theories, like maybe multiple souls. Octopuses have 3 hearts, like there's the black tortoise could have 3 hearts, or 3 multiple lives as well. There's a lot of theories that work, so like betting on that theory, that's a tough bet that I personally would not take, but hey, if you want to die on that hill, and if it comes true, you can take your W, bro. Do you think Luffy knows he has? No, he does not know. He still thinks Gomu Gomu because nobody told him that he is the Nika Nika. You don't find out the name of the fruit when you eat it. That was a mistranslation, okay? You don't hear like Gomu Gomu no Mi after you eat the fruit. Like, you have to figure it out yourself. So he doesn't know, and I don't think he cares to know. Celtics represent, yes, baby. That's right. We are taking on the league and just fucking thrashing every single one of them, man. I don't like it. Are we ever gonna lose a game again? I don't know. Maybe. At this point, I'm not gonna expect to lose anymore because there's just like. First, it was a 10-0 run against a bunch of bad teams. And it was like, okay, you can't beat good teams. And then we beat Atlanta, Denver, Philly. And it was like, okay, they're kind of mid teams, whatever. They were still tough wins. Can he keep doing it again? Then we came back from the break, defeated Brooklyn, the fully healthy Nets team. And then this recent West Coast road trip, we just thrashed everybody. Bro. Denver, Golden State, Utah, all playoff teams. 20 points each. All blown out, bro. Man, I mean, this is the best I've ever felt about the Celtics team, probably since the Big Three era. Like, I am excited as long as everybody stays healthy. Knock on wood. I'm excited. I'm excited for the playoffs, man. I think we have a real shot. Promise you won't regret it. Wait, can I talk to you? Forget. I mean, hit me up on Discord or something. Like, we're just talking about the chapter right now. I don't want to sidetrack to just talk about this theory. But if you want to send me your theory or something, I could definitely take a look at it or stuff like that. Hey, Bucks, Gabe, I will say this. You guys look legit. I think you are probably the scariest team in the East right now. The Nets don't scare me as much, even though Durant and Kyrie can put buckets. But Ben Simmons is a fraud, and he's injured. So, listen, Nets, I'm a little scared of. Heat, Sixers, and Nets are really in the same category. The Bucks is the team I really think, okay, that will be a tough matchup. But destroy us, I think you're getting a little overconfident over there. Probably haven't been watching the Celtics just absolutely tear through teams for the entire 2022 year. Okay, we started off quite bad for the first half of the season, but we are figuring it out. Number one league defense the last 15 games, number one offense. We've had the number one net rating for the entire year. We're 24-4 in our last 28 games. All right, so just keep on lookout. All right, keep a lookout. Don't get too cocky over there. Kyrie better than Tatum? Hell no. Are you out of your goddamn mind? What is this, fucking 2015? When Tatum was still in like college or high school? Hell no, he's not better than Tatum. So boring to watch. It's team basketball, bro. They be passing that shit around. I'm having a blast watching them blowing out teams by 30 every single fucking game. Bucks are the favorite in the East. I would agree. I would say they got nothing else to prove. They're still playing very well, fully healthy now. They're defending champions. They're the team to beat. I'll give them that for sure. But I'm not scared. I think this Celtics team could beat anybody. Golden State better than the Suns. Have you watched the Suns, bro? Suns are fucking just destroying everybody as well. But they've been doing it for the whole season. I think the Suns are easily the team to beat in the West. And it's not even close. Golden State's not even healthy at this point. Anime didn't mention. Thank you for super chat. I have a cool idea. Rizzo, after the fight with Fuku in the fire, he said he planned something, so it has to do with how to extinct fire. Check 1041. Is that what he said? I didn't even see. I don't remember, to be honest. I'll take a look, though. Maybe he could put out the fire. I don't even care too much about the fire at this point. Once you defeat Kaido, everything else will fall into place. That's what I think. He could sit, like, put out the fire. Jinbei could help as well, for sure. Yeah, must hurry. How careless of me. The preparations were already complete. Yeah, that's low-key a weird line to just kind of drop in there. Nice catch. Maybe it's to put out the fire. Maybe it's some way to save everybody on Onigashima because it's gonna fucking drop. So we'll see. We'll see. Yamato thought Momo was Joy Boy for sure. I don't think so. I think she said that he was the one to bring the dawn, but I think he's just an important figure. And my theory on Momonosuke this whole time is that he's related to the ancient weapon somehow. Either Zunisha is the ancient weapon, and he can control it, or that he is literally the ancient weapon himself. Bulls Nation, y'all better step it up, man. You guys are falling, man. You guys are falling. Yes, I did see Kyrie could play again, but I'm not worried. Like, we beat the Nets with Kyrie. We beat them. They had their defense is trash. I know KD's scary. Don't get me wrong. I'm always going to be scared of Kevin Durant. But I think we could beat anybody. Our offense is coming together. Our defense is by far the number one in the league. As long as we keep continuing our stride, keep getting better, I think we can take on anybody. Could we lose to the Nets? Absolutely. All right, I'm not naive. I'm not saying like, oh, we're not going to lose to anybody. I just think we can beat anybody. Entering any series besides the Bucks and the Suns, I honestly think we probably slight favorites, or at least I'm going to think so. Current status, not what it matters in the playoffs. Are you telling me the Celtics haven't made 3 Eastern Conference Finals with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? Like, they don't have any playoff experience? And you talking about the Phoenix Suns, who made the finals last year. Like, which one are you talking about? Come on, Safama. I know my ball, Safama. All right, you better come at me with some facts, bro. Sleeping on the Nets? Listen, Nets could always be a monster. If they're fully healthy, Ben Simmons is actually not a fraud and actually fucking, like, performing to his standard, they're a very scary team. I'm not sleeping on the Nets. But this year, Kyrie and KD just put up like 80 points against the Grizzlies and lost by 12. Okay, they have no defense. The team is discombobulated. They have injuries in and out of the lineup. Still don't even know Ben Simmons is going to play. When you have Kevin Durant, you're always going to have a chance. But listen, I'm not scared of that team. I think we could win. Are they going to be a hard win? Absolutely. I think we could win. NBA channel? I don't know the league enough to make an NBA channel. So it's just kind of fun to come on stream here and there and talk about it, though. I don't watch enough. There are a couple games tonight. I'm watching the standings pretty closely because Celtics are 1.5 back of the 1 seed after we were literally the 11th seed, like halfway through the season. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Okay, back to One Piece a little bit. What's my favorite devil fruit? Marco the Phoenix. I've always said that, but maybe it's Luffy now. This new form looking fire, bro. Big Mom Pirates still come back eventually, but I think if anything, maybe they'll just save Big Mom. Maybe at the end of the arc they come up and then do something, but I don't know, man. I don't know. OG Admirals with solo any team in basketball. The chemistry between them is not very strong, though. You know, that'd be like a pure talent type of thing. And I've seen that with the Celtics. You know, we had an incredibly talented team back in 2018, but the chemistry just wasn't there. So who knows? Maybe they just can't work with each other. Do I think Luffy having this fruit hurts Yamato's chances of joining? I guess to the extent that now we actually have a mythical Zoan, so the diversity point doesn't add in. But I still think Yamato's character still could, wherever her story arc goes, could match up with the Straw Hats. Could match up with the Straw Hats for sure. Look at the Lakers. I mean, to be fair, Lakers, Anthony Davis is injured. Russell Westbrook just not only is not as good anymore, but yeah, chemistry-wise, he just doesn't fit in. It just never made sense when they made the trade, bro. It's just like, you're going to get a ball-dominant guard and take the ball out of LeBron James's hands? Why would you do that? That's the stupidest thing you could do. Like, that doesn't make any sense. How does this affect LeBron's legacy? I don't think it does, bro. The man's got 4 championships, and he's going to be breaking all sorts of all-time records. It affects it in that he's got less of an argument for the GOAT because he's not going to be winning a championship this year. If he does, I'll be absolutely shocked. But I don't think it really does. I mean, he's 37 at this point, bro. Like, the fact that he's even still dropping 50 points, like, it's insane. It's insane. What about Buggy's Awakening? I don't think we're gonna get that one. I'm not gonna hold on to hope that we get that one. Just want Nell to come back. Maybe. I hope so. I just don't know if there's a storyline for him to do so. At this point, I think we'll get a cover page story on him at one point, and I'll be happy with that, to be honest. I'll be happy with that. Is Yamato Devil Fruit special since the deity of Wano? It's special to an extent. I don't know if it's like that special. There's probably some history behind it. But power-wise, I think we've seen a good amount of it. Marco's kind of retired. He's willing to help. I mean, that's what he's doing, right? He's helping. I still think he has to play a bigger role because that's how much I think of Marco. I think he's such a big character that if you're going to bring him to Arc, he has to play a significant role. But after Wano, I think Elbaf, because I just think there's not that much time left. Eventually, you have to go to Elbaf and Lodestar and Laugh-Tale and then back to Marijois probably. So, yeah. Yamato rolling the Straw Hats, it could be many. Guardian, the writer, the ship logger, like, you could just make some shit up, bro. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. Like, Usopp's the sniper. Like, how often is he actually sniping on the ship and stuff? Zoro's the first mate. Like, yeah, he does step up. Like, archaeologist. Like, there's, you know, like, the role is kind of a minor thing. As long as Yamato has something to do, she'll figure it out. She'll fit it right in. Is Emu female? No idea. Could be. We know nothing about her. Imagine Sengoku awakening. I don't think we'll get that either. Maybe in a flashback. Not anymore, at least, though. Man's too busy eating snacks these days. I don't want Yamato joining a crew. I want Momo to join a crew. I mean, it's possible Momo joins. I've always said it's a possibility. I don't like grown-ass man Momonosuke, though. I've always been Yamato number one. Carrot would be cool, but I just don't think it makes sense anymore at this point. And Tama and Momo could make sense, but I just feel like they're too weak for the things that the Straw Hats will be taking on later in the bigger arcs. They're fighting the Blackbeard pirates. What the fuck's Tama gonna do? Like, is she gonna bring Hihimaru? Like, what's the next step for each Straw Hat in terms of battle shonen? What do you mean in terms of battle shonen? Like power-ups or story-wise, or what do you mean by that? Kara sneaking back on the ship, it'd be kind of weird. Think about if that happens. Like, she's literally been irrelevant for 100+ chapters. What was the last major moment Kara had in the story? The last major moment she had was getting slapped up by Perospero. Before that was Sulong form all the way back in Whole Cake Island. Like, she's been completely irrelevant in this arc, bro. Like, it's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Emil, I'm sorry, but I gotta speak the truth, man. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need that truth. Trying to lessen the blow for you. Just like how I know it's completely possible Yamato does not join the Straw Hats. You know, it's a thing that I want. Does it actually happen? I know it's definitely could be very unlikely. I still don't think she stays behind in Wano, though. That's one thing I've been very strongly on. It doesn't make sense. Why would she stay there? That's one thing I've always been strong on. Zoro have the Shodai Kitetsu. Could be a path for him. Maybe he gets the Nidai here, eventually gets the Shodai. That could be cool. Maybe necessarily he doesn't need it either. Who knows? I still want Zoro to get his own sword. Probably not gonna happen, but would be dope. Goku's joined the Straw Hats. Marco played a big role in the recovery of Zoro. Any doctor stuff I want Chopper to do. Okay, because Chopper hasn't had a fight. I want to see him solve it all. The Smiles, Luffy, Zoro, he's got to be the one to save them all, okay? He's got to catch them W's. Zeus did the 11th member. Technically, I guess. Technically, you could count Zeus. That's why I think, like, those things are, like, trying to add things up, it's just not going to work. Like, now we have Zeus, the Zeus count. Like, you're trying to formulate a bunch of rules and restrictions to a thing that Oda probably has pretty freely. I'm sure he had a framework of things to follow, but, like, things change, obviously, for him. The Wado, not his own sword. It is his own sword, but in a way, it's still Kuena's sword, right? Imagine if he got a sword crafted and forged just for him, right? I understand the argument that Watto is his own sword, which is why I think it's probably unlikely that he gets his own sword forged. But I just think it would be a cool idea. It's more of a headcanon thing. I don't call it a theory. Kid Luffy, he could be limited only by his imagination and his stamina. And that's what's important, because I think after this battle where he goes ballistic, he's going to be damn near death. Think about the stuff that he's created before. Gear 2nd, Gear 3rd, Gear 4th. All either took his lifespan, turned him into a midget, exhausted him. Like, it's gonna drain him a lot. You know, it's not going to come with no repercussions, because that would just be not fun. Because he would just fuck everybody up. Beppo didn't train for so long, that's why he can't use... Nah, Beppo's a bum, bro. Beppo's a bum. He's merchandise, all right? I'm done talking about Beppo. Get that man out of my stream. The Beppo agenda stays strong. Luffy bounty after Wano? Oh, we said 5 bill, and I'm sticking to it. Higher than Kaido, because he's beaten Kaido. Gorosei does not know yet. They'll probably find out soon, though, from the 3rd CP0 guy. Does Dragon have the highest bounty? I actually don't think so. Like, if you can... Like, there's always been this theory, it's like, oh, Dragon actually has the highest bounty because he's the most wanted man in the world. I think that's just a title. Like, if you look at the rest of the bounties of the Revolutionary Army, the second in command, Sabo, is like 660,000. If Dragon, if all of a sudden is like 10 billion, that just would not make any sense. Like, this just wouldn't make enough sense to me. Beppo is a bum now. We showing that one. Treybird, talk that talk. Nami bounty higher than ulti. I did, oh man, I forgot what I said in my last predictions. But yeah, I think they'll all probably jump towards that Toby Roppo level for the mid-tier Straw Hats. Sanji and Zoro gonna be crossing 1 bill, I think. And those bounty increases are gonna be so exciting, bro. Like, it's crazy how much of a peak we are at right now, and it's just gonna keep getting better and better and better. I love One Piece, man. We're out here. We are spoiled. We are spoiled. 5656 eventually. I think at the end, Issa. I think probably at the end, maybe. But after Wano, I think 5 bill is probably a good spot. 4.8. I think it has to surpass Kaido. Like, why wouldn't it? Like, he defeated Katakuri, it surpassed Katakuri. He defeated Doflamingo, surpassed Doflamingo. He's gonna defeat Kaido. It should surpass Kaido. Chopper's bounty, either like 500 or like, you know what? There was that talk where, like, remember when he was like, "I'm not a Tanuki," and he shouted that at everybody. That could be maybe a moment that gets reported back, and now everybody sees him in that monster point, and he actually gets like a crazy bounty, like maybe like 500 or even like 200 million or something like that. That'd be pretty sick. Well, Robin's bounty rise, it should. I've always said it should be way higher. That's why I didn't buy the whole world government thing. Like, all of a sudden, they're like, oh, we have to get Nico Robin. Like, we have to. It's a big mission. You have to make sure she does not get out of there. Why didn't you fucking try harder this whole time, dog? Like, you gave her like a 79 berry bounty, and after Innie's lobby, you were like, yeah, let's just raise it by 1 million. Like, you didn't try very hard, all right? You probably should have tried a little harder. So, like, I've always said Robin should have a ridiculously high bounty, but I don't think they're going to do it. Or I don't think Oda's going to do it, because he just kind of likes these numbers, you know? Kind of likes these numbers in the same structure of the power balance of the Straw Hats. So I don't see a scenario where Robin surpasses like Jinbei or Sanji or Zoro or even Frankie maybe, you know? Honestly, Frankie's the one that needs a bounty increase. He's getting slept on. He put in some work. He just wiped Sasaki like it was nothing. Sasaki didn't have a chance, man. Do I think Blackbeard Awakening could awaken all of his fruits? How do we know he hasn't awakened both of them in these past 2 years? I'm sure he has been training. right? He's been planning to get these fruits. He knows his abilities. So I'm sure he's been training to level them up and awaken them. And if the theory is true that he's had this third mythical zone this whole time, maybe the awakened power is that he's able to eat 3 devil fruits, and that's already awakened. By the time he fights Luffy, I expect him to be absolutely awakened, conquer Saki and everything, and it's just going to be an all-out brawl. How many Straw Hats do I think will have 1 billion? After Wano, 3. Just 3. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. I think Jinbei will get close. If Yamato joins, she'll be a wild card. But I think she'll probably still get under a bill. But yeah, I think Jinbei, Frankie, Robin, Brook, probably still in that 600, 800 tier still. It's just going to be Monster Trio, I think. Will Straw Hat die? 2 best guesses are Usopp and Luffy. I don't think anybody else has a chance unless Zoro dies in this arc. But yeah, I don't think any of them need to die. But if I had to pick, I would say those are the 2 best bets. Jinbei beat Who's Who mid-diff. Yeah, he should get some respect as well. He's a Who's Who. Why are you giving me a fucking monologue? Let me just wipe the floor with you real quick. Frankie biked. Yeah, Frankie put in work, bro. Biked Big Mom. All right, just took out Sasaki like he was nothing. One of the only people who also take out a number within 1 hit. All right, along with Yamato and X-Drake and Luffy, and so like very strong people. Brook as well. So Frankie put in work. Carrot's bounty. All right, Yamil. I don't know about that one, man. I think she might get the pet label, to be honest. Who else has a supreme grade? The only ones we know right now were Whitebeard, Mihawk, and then Roger had one. I think Shanks' Griffin is probably going to be one. I think Shiryu's Ryu is probably going to be one as well. Of course, the Gorosei probably has the Shodai Katetsu, so that's going to be one. But yeah, there's still a lot left. I don't know how that information is going to be filled in. I'm surprised we didn't see more in Wano, to be honest. Yeah, Carrot's heading for the pet label, man. Oda loves his own jokes. Nobody loves his own jokes more than Oda. Chopper turns out to be mythical Zoan. 3 other human fruits, Sengoku, Luffy are all mythical. I mean, at the end of the day, you still need a base form one. So, like, Chopper could just have the base form. He doesn't have to be mythical. It still could mean the fruit's a lot stronger than we thought it was, which I always thought was a possibility. If he awakens that, like, what happens? He just becomes the peak human? Think Luffy's gonna have a weapon? Nah, he doesn't need one. He's got his fists. His weapons are his body. He just creates weapons out of his body. That's what he uses his imagination for. Teddy, what's good, bro? How you doing? Lose some years of life for using Gear 5th? Could absolutely happen. The man's going ballistic. It seems like he's lost his mind, and he's not going to be holding back. He's having fun, sure, but he's going to face some repercussions for sure. No drawbacks to Gear 5th? That would just be broken. There's got to be drawbacks to everything, or else he's just going to wipe the floor. You need tension. You need give and take. There has to be a balance of everything. There's been drawbacks to every single gear. At the very least, even Law and Kid have shown that Awakening drains you like crazy. So there's got to be drawbacks. Luffy is the weapon, facts. Are you more sure Enel will appear again in the story since Luffy is a natural enemy with Enel and Enel seems to be the moon god now? I don't know if he's really the moon god. Like, that was just a cover page story. It didn't even get animated in the anime. So anime onlys don't even know about Enel. For all they know, Enel fucking disappeared into the moon and just disappeared forever. At best, I think Enel gets another cover page story or update. I don't think he really has a purpose of coming back. As much as I want to see him come back and get a fair shot, see how he's changed during the time skip. The Goro Goro no Mi is an absolutely monstrous fruit as well. Toon Force Luffy. Yeah, I mean, I saw some people didn't like the art style about Toon Force Luffy. I think Oda was just literally fucking laughing like a maniac, just like Luffy, as he was drawing this shit. So, like, he was just having a blast. And we just gotta let Oda be Oda sometimes, you know? Sometimes it gets too much. Sometimes it gets too much. But I think with the hype that he gave us this chapter, we just let it fly. We'll see. It's about to go into a climax with this fight, though. I hope it's a lot more serious as it comes to a close. Oda usually delivers with those. But yeah, I mean, the ability is absolutely broken. The possibilities are endless, but like I said earlier, there's going to be drawbacks. There's got to be drawbacks. Joy Boy might do his own thing when he gets the chance. What do you mean? Like, you think Joy Boy is still in Luffy's body? Nah, it's very clearly Luffy at this point to me. And I just don't like the idea of Joy Boy taking over Luffy's body. He awakened the fruit, so this is how it works now. Before he stretched the capabilities of the base form of his fruits. I mean, the awakening's still gonna drain him. So, like, stamina-wise, he's not. The awakening doesn't give him unlimited stamina. Like, that's not gonna happen. Still no Logia on the crew. That's a really good point. We should get a Logia. It's kind of weird we don't have a Logia. The fact that Zone Devil Fruit supposedly have a will of their own. Yeah, that is true. That's one thing I mentioned in my chapter review. Like, I think that's a big hint to answers about the origins of Devil Fruits, I think. How they were made in the first place. Yeah, Vegapunk needs to come give us some answers. Figure out the smiles. Tell Sanji some info. Like, Vegapunk, I've been pushing. When was my first Vegapunk video, man? My first Vegapunk video must have been like almost a year ago. Let me peep real quick. Let's see. SSG. Hold on. Vegapunk. February 16th. It's been over a year. Here's the proof, bro. Here's the proof. Why Dr. Vegapunk must come to Wano. We were in the old setup, the old place. It's a very awkward pause that I've got here. But February 16th, bro. There's my credibility. Vegapunk, I think, is a good guy. I think he's kind of just getting by in there. Maybe he's like, there could be a dark side of him where his pursuit of science is like pushing him into evil territories. But I think overall, everything we've heard about him is that he's a good dude. There's some sus elements like how he experimented on Kaido, so maybe he's putting up a front. I'm not gonna die on the hill that he's a good guy, but we've heard a lot of good things about Vegapunk. Yeah, Luffy literally just needs to push himself to the brink of death every time to just get to the next level. That's just how he works. Joy Boy or Emu? How do I even answer that, dude? Like, who's stronger, Joy Boy or Emu? Like, we don't even know. We don't know anything about either of them. How old is Vegapunk? I don't think we have an answer to that either. He's probably a pretty old lad at this point. 50s, 60s, maybe. Who knows? Why Oda makes batches of episodes in dub or sub? Oda does not make the anime, my guy. that is Toei Animations, and also they recently got hacked, so there's not gonna be any episodes for I think for a little bit. It's on delay right now. I'm not sure if it's still on delay. On delay. How do I feel about a reveal Luffy's Devil Fruit changed the concept of Will of D? Will of D, I think, pretty the one I think right now is that the D is the smile. Everything is going towards the smile at this point. Joy Boy, the drums, and the Nika bringing smiles to people's faces and stuff. Like, I feel like smile is the answer right now. I don't know exactly what it means because I haven't done a deep dive on it yet, but I feel like that's where might be heading. The moon theory is strong as well. Drums has been emphasized recently too, because dong, we always see dong and like romance dawn. There's a lot of double entendres that could be in play. Jewelry Bonnie, when first shown on Saboti, was eating like crazy, but that was pregnancy. Oda wanted to think her power was connected to food, but she can alter youth, so who's gonna say she can't alter her womb? You just fucked my brain, bro. What? Where did that even come from, my guy? Like, my guy JD Rich is coming in with the heat, man. Just like randomly dropping some crazy theories. What I think is gonna be the next major twist. I mean, it's not gonna be a twist if I can predict it, right? So like, I don't even want to think about it, to be honest. The smile to bring the dawn back is whack. I mean, it's all been set up since day one. So, like, could just be that. I mean, the symbolism is all there. The ending has to be some sort of feast. Could be. For sure. Do you think Luffy's new devil fruit is the most powerful devil? I mean, the Gorosei literally said it. So, like, for sure. I mean, Blackbeard's fruit, though, he knows his shit. So, like, maybe he knew, like, oh, okay, Yami Yami is the perfect counter to everything. Jewelry Bonnie is carrying Ace's baby. Keep him coming, bro. I love it. I love it. Like, we talk about, my man just keeps dropping theories I've never seen before in my life with no regard for mankind. I love it. Keep him coming, bro. Keep him coming. Amro, what's up? Hi. Pretty sure it means the goofiest power. Oh no, Gorosei means the most ridiculous power. You think they meant goofy? Like, is the silliest power? Nah, I think, well, we'll see in the official, but like ridiculous, I think it's meaning strength. Because they were legitimately scared. They were terrified. I don't think they were terrified of the fucking Looney Tunes that it was gonna create. Although some readers were. It's fun, but it's also strong. You think they were scared because of how fun it was, though? Like, the smile factor is just kind of part of it. I don't think the Gorosei are really gonna be like, oh, it's gonna bring too much happiness to people. I don't think that's their biggest fear. Kaido is Zoro's dad. Okay, now everybody's coming in with the heat, bro. You got Kaido is Zoro's dad. Jewelry Bonnie is carrying Ace's baby. Who else? What else we got, bro? Give me your heaters, bro. Drop them heaters. What crazy headcanon theories do we all got? Ridiculous is used as a humorous? Okay, but you gotta explain to me, why would they... I mean, they place emphasis on the fruit because it's humorous or because it's strong. Like, you could say it's the most humorous fruit, but it's still fucking scary to them. So, like, are they going to be scared of the fact that it's humorous? Or the fact that it's unlimited potential with the amount of imagination that you have? Kaido's the real godfather of Usopp. Half-dead Zoro kills Kaido. Okay, we got some Zoro fanboys out here. Mihawk is Shanks' long-lost brother, Charlotte Nami. Charlotte Nami, I've heard. I've seen that one. That one's got a little bit of legs to it. Dragon is Robin's father. I don't think I've seen enough on that to think. Zoro's Ryuma's son, who was sent to the future. Okay. Like, you took a theory that's pretty popular and has a lot of backing it and, like, has evidence, and then you just, like, fucking flipped it upside down, bro. This is a blast. Joy Boy is the son of Luffy. Rock's related to Blackbeard. That's not a heater, bro. Come on, Gary. Gary, that's like a pretty popular take. I'm gonna need some more heat from you. Nami is the egg on Roger's ship. What? Since they traveled back in East Blue with Oda and saw Tequila Wolf, which is near the Oikot Kingdom. Okay. That's a heater. That might be my favorite one so far. Nami is the egg on Rod. That's a banger, bro. That's an absolute banger. Big Mom is Nami's mom. I've seen Dragon is Robin's father. Stalin is the final boss. Oh, God. First time I had Awaken in 800 years, so they weren't actually worrying about it. They had no reason to believe Luffy was special. They still wanted to get the fruit, though. So, like, I don't think they tried hard enough to get the fruit. I think they need to explain that one a little more for me to fully take it in and believe it. Or else it feels more like a plot convenience. To me, at least. Laboon is Pluton. Makino is Rayleigh's daughter. Bro, you guys are really coming with some heat. Like, you imagine like how many theories I see and like the hundreds of comments that I get, people sending me shit on Twitter and Discord. I've actually never heard a lot of these, bro. You guys are bringing some fucking heat. Emu is actually puppet created by Goro. Yo, that's kind of fire, bro. You onto something with that one. Robin is pregnant with Sabo's baby. Okay. They got busy back in Dressrosa. Okay. Goldie Rogers, Robin's. Yo, what's up with all these Robin's dad theories, man? I guess he is the mysterious figure that was kind of like, oh, okay. Kind of just brushed to the side and never talked about again. Emu has the Torque fruit. Since D-Clan are all related, Blackbeard and Luffy are related. Joy Boy had a brother. Bunch of incest? Is that what we're talking about? The D-Clan is just a bunch of incest? The D-Clan's low-key the royal family? Im-sama is Luffy's mom. Nami and Rouge are relatives. Wow, a lot of Nami and Robin family theories. I was not expecting this. Luffy could just go Super Saiyan God mode, Saiyan Baryon mode, Kaioken times 1000, Made in Heaven Act 5 the Earth. And it might actually happen. I respect it. Joy Boy is actually a girl. Yasuie is Zoro's uncle. That's not too crazy, to be honest, because I think Ushimaru still could be his granddaddy. To be honest, I think they missed the mark with the dad theory because it didn't even make sense age-wise. But him being the granddaddy could be make sense. So Yasuie could technically be the grand uncle, which would add so much more to their interactions and stuff. Robin's dad is Roger. She was his firstborn. Remember, Roger died 2 years before Robin's birth. I mean, like that can't be the only hint, you feel me? Like, that's the thing with these crazy theories, or these heaters. It's just like, they're more headcanon territory because there's just not enough. For me to really back a theory, you're gonna need like at least 4 or 5 concrete evidence that like actually really lined up. So far, I don't think I've seen one that I'm like, damn, that's a good one. Brook is Beck's father. Khalil, what's good, bro? At the end of the story, Luffy will marry Meat. That's the one right there, bro. That's the one. Make Boa angry and she will eat all the meat in the world, get fat so that Luffy can't marry Meat. Bad ending. Bad engine. When's the next top 20? You gotta wait a while, bro. I think it's a year-end thing. Like, we gotta wait. Maybe I'll do one halfway through the year at the earliest. The next thing I want to do is the fantasy draft. I might change the goal because I kind of just want to do that. And making an elite goal is, I feel like it's just too complicated. So I might eventually just do that. We will have more tier lists next break week and stuff. The tier list, I got to come up with some new ones because we did a lot of them back in the day and they were always fun. Top 20 females, we haven't done a female one yet, I don't think. Gecko Moria pulls a Kabuto and reanimates all the legends. I saw that was a Vinsmoke, Blackleg Vinsmoke theory, right? I mean, that would just be, I don't think the audience would like that. That feels like one of those, like, oh my God, what if this happened? But like realistically thinking in the story, it would be kind of fucked up, to be honest, you know? If Luffy do not marry Bo, I'm going to Japan to beat Oda. I don't think it's going to happen, bro. Luffy is a fucking celibate. Like, the man only cares about one meat, and that is just food. Beppo and Carrot get married. End of story. A marriage of two of the most popular background merchandise. I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry. Morning Morality, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the super chat. Could Ulti and Page 1 be Captain John's kids? Okay. Kid has the same epithet. Page 1, Ulti dad. New Kaido. They all have anger issues. Okay. Presenting a couple of lines of connection there, but it's just be a random theory, right? It's just like a lot of these. It just feels kind of random. That like maybe Oda reveals in SBS is like, oh, what the fuck? Okay, that's cool, I guess. But like all of these is just like, oh, what if this, you know? Shanks has a telekinesis. Nah, the red hair pirates do not have any devil fruits. They can't. Shanks says chapter 1 that what good is being a pirate if you can't swim? He has to stand by that himself. I think every single person on the Red Hair Pirates do not have a devil fruit. Bino, what's good, bro? How you doing? Zoro's from the Void Century. Alright, now you're getting out of hand a little bit, man. Zoro marries Hiyori? Hey, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Why not? Roger met Nico Ovia when she was only 25. He's really excited. It's all capping. Like, only 25 years of age. Robin and her mother are 25 apart, while Robin is 51. I need those effects of the equations going through my head. Apart, while Robin is 51 years apart from Robin. Buster Call happened 6 years after Robbie was 2 years old. I mean, timeline-wise, it could add up. I feel like you could really pluck a lot of timeline things as well. I don't think there's anything else kind of backing it. What does it really add to the story either? You know, that's the one thing you always have to think with these headcanons. Think Kaido will still win this? That would be pretty wild. I don't think so anymore. But that would be insane. I actually I'm gonna watch Morge's did anybody already watch Morge's review? What are his thoughts on this? Because I feel like once you see this, it's like Luffy's gonna win, right? Luffy has to win. Ulti would join the crew? Nah. Post Wani bounty predictions. I gave one a while back. It hasn't changed it. It hasn't changed. It's probably the same. He loves it. Glad to hear. Did he say anything about the raid failing? Is he still sticking by? I'm sure he's dying on the ship, even if it goes down, but... Pirates roam the seas with multiple baby mamas free of child support. Love it, bro. Have fun with it. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I mean, they're pirates, right? At the end of the day. Chapter of the decade. God damn, bro. Okay, Morge. Didn't expect that coming from him. Over 957? What do we think? This over 957? I'll put 1010 in there just in case too, because I think those are the three. Which one is the one. Or number one. 1044. I'm sure there's going to be some recency bias, but I'm interested to see this poll. Nigel, what's good, bro? How's work? Work treating you all right? In terms of what chapter delivers lore-wise is the chapter of the decade. In terms of enjoyment, though, I don't know. Okay, 1044 looks like it's dominating. It is some pretty big reveal lore-wise. Might be more than 957, honestly. Because 957... Oh, I mean, we got 9... We got Rocks... Like God Valley, Rocks Pirates, and Bounties. Like... Yeah, I knew there was going to be recency bias, so it wasn't going to be close, probably. I feel like if people were here for 957, we had like a live event and stuff, you would just treat it differently. Like, because 957, I think 1044 and 957 are a tier in its own. 1010 is a level below still, I think. Actually, has some issues. Hey, definitely speak your issues, guys. Like, I want to hear what people had issue with, because I know some people didn't like it. Anime Dimension, thank you for the super chat. If cover pages are part of the story, then what happens after Whole Cake Island arc? For some pirates and Germa, Jinbei might not know why he didn't tell the Germa got caught. To some pirates, I don't know. I feel like Jinbei staying behind, if he stayed behind and some pirates still got caught, that would be kind of a bad look for him. But at the same time, the Germa getting caught, I'm glad kind of there's some consequences there. I'm not sure where this... The cover page has to end at a point. Is it going to end at a dark note where, like, those two brothers literally die? And then Sanji finds out and he has to go back to Whole Cake Island? Or, like, does somebody actually save him? Because there were silhouettes in the last cover page that I missed that people are speculating maybe it's the Blackbeard Pirates. So that could be a way it goes as well. You feel me? Well, yeah. Multiple ways it could go. 957, exactly. 957 ending with the bounties and then finding out by the Rocks Pirates. I don't know if it quite 1010. I mean, not 1044 passes that yet. I don't know, man. If Luffy is a son like Nika, who is Blackbeard? Blackbeard is the darkness, all right? I don't think he's the moon. I think the moon is actually an ally of sort. Blackbeard is just darkness. He's the perfect counter in so many ways at this point. What is up with stretching and who is Nika? Did you acquire the stretching? Like, are you not caught up, bro? Are you anime only? If you are anime only, I would suggest you leave. Because we're talking about the manga. All right, you're going to have to catch up to the manga to fully understand everything. Atticus Emerson, thank you for the super chat. Theory, Luffy's favorite food is Niku because it's meat, right? Yeah, because his devil fruit kept trying to tell him his name, Nika, but Luffy didn't understand. That would be funny. But like I mentioned earlier, it has been debunked that when you eat the fruit, you don't actually hear the name of the fruit. But that's actually really an interesting take on it. It would be something Oda would definitely do. It'd be a funny spin on it as well. But at the end of the day, like, Luffy still likes the meat. He has to eat it at the end of the day, right? So he still has to enjoy it. On the same level, Vito, on the same level for sure. But if you had to pick, which one would you pick? I might still say 957. Definitely on the same level. I think 1010, 1000, 1043, they're all level below. Blackbeard is the void. Yeah, void, darkness, that kind of thing. Same thing. We'll still have yet to have Zebek intro box that will surpass our... I mean, there's a lot more that's coming, man. Shanks, when he finally shows up and reunites with Luffy. Zoro versus Mihawk. Emu. Elbaf. Fucking Blackbeard. Akainu. Like, there's so much more, man. The Void Sentry. Like, so much more. MFP, thank you. Glad you enjoyed the reaction. Glad you enjoyed the content. What's good? Nigel, I hate how they worded the ducking. There's the autocorrect. Love that. The ducking part where the Gorosei Gandhi. I can tell you're typing this quick. Grossy Gandhi said that Luffy has the strongest power in the world. It really killed my vibe and how they're like, yeah, Luffy got the most busted. Are you saying like how they said that Luffy literally has the strongest fruits? So I get the sentiment why people are upset that Luffy literally has the strongest fruit in the verse, but the description of the power's abilities really kind of makes up for it, because they specifically said the limits of this power are the limits of the user's imagination. So number one, the powers of this fruit is going to be, the powers of this fruit is go as far as Luffy can carry it. And for 800 years, it has been awakened. So Luffy also gets credit for that as well. So Luffy is still doing it himself at the end of the day. Ridiculous does not equal strongest fruit. I see a lot of people fighting over this. I'm not getting this. Why do we not think ridiculous does not equal the strongest? Because this whole time they've been scared of it. Do we think they're scared of it because of just the potential? I mean, like, by the end of the day, if you have the potential to be the strongest, aren't you the strongest? Some people were saying that it was ridiculous as in humorous in that sense of things. But like, why would they care that much where it'd be like, yeah, it's like funny, like it's so stupidly strong, it's funny, but they're still saying it's stupidly strong. Top one, no question. Now, Blackbeard still has to fight him. Think about, yeah, he has a god fruit in Mythical Zoan as well, and then the darkness literally negates other devil fruits. So he has a perfect counter already. So Oda's been setting this up from the get-go. In Japanese, it's written as it's funny. Okay. So I guess that backs it up. But I still think it's like, if they're saying it in a way, it's like stupidly funny or something like that. I guess like translation-wise, it gets a little lost. But but my point is, it doesn't change the fact that they're absolutely terrified of this fruit, right? So what are they afraid of? It's powers. It's still a fruit strong enough for them to be fucking terrified, right? So maybe it's not the strongest of all time, but it's up there. It's still up there, right? And it could be just potential-wise, which I actually kind of like, because that means Luffy has to be the one to kind of unlock it. But even if it means like it has this ridiculous, like crazy ability that gives it massive potential that they're terrified of, it still makes it incredibly strong. Maybe not the strongest, but definitely up there. Definitely up there. Yamato's role, she could, like I said earlier, could do anything, honestly. Write stories, be the protector, anything, honestly. Why did it? Yeah, morning morality, that one I'm right there with you. That's a plot convenience until we get more explanation on it. That is a plot convenience. And it's not like we haven't had these, right? Like when they said, oh, we have to go after Nico Robin, I didn't buy that at all. Why didn't you do that earlier? You gave her an 80 million berry bounty after Innie's lobby. Like, I don't buy that. I don't buy this sense of urgency at all. All right, like, it's a big plot convenience. They haven't tried a little harder this whole time. Same thing with Luffy, where it's like, oh, there's 800 years we haven't been able to get it. If you knew that, like, oh, look, Monkey D. Luffy defeated Arlong. Go send Kizaru after his ass right now. He's fucked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if they didn't believe it wasn't going to awaken, they still were trying to get after the fruit this whole time. They should have tried a little harder. All right, they didn't try that hard, in my opinion. So, like, that for me, I'm going to call it like it is. It's a plot convenience until we get more information. Same thing with the whole Robin thing. Like, I don't buy the fact it's like, oh my God, we're urgent, CP0, we have to go get her at all costs now. It's like, what the fuck you been doing this whole time, dude? Like, maybe stop sleeping on her. Like, now it's like you guys are just slacking this whole time. Like, you guys are chilling this whole, what are you even doing? What are you guys even doing, man? Obviously, it's broken, but it's not the GOAT. Kaido's fruit literally makes you invulnerable. Yeah, I guess it's just a different way you look at the power, right? So, it's just the different ways you look at the power. But the fact that the Gorosei were terrified of it does mean it's absolutely broken, one of the strongest. That's the point I wanted to make. I'm not saying it's the GOAT, clearly, like by a large margin or anything like that, but it's at this point we fully expect it is one of the strongest with insane potential. Shanks informed the Gorosei that the Gomu Gomu no Mi is the Nika model. I don't think he would. Why? Why would he do that? I still have not seen a good reason why Shanks would be a snitch and would be a villain. Because, like I said in the video that I talked about Shanks, everything that he's done, you could literally make the argument he's done it all for Luffy. Stopping Marineford, Luffy was there. Stopping Ace, that's Luffy's brother. All right, stopping Kaido, that helps Luffy because Luffy was at Marineford. Like, everything that he's done has been to help Luffy. Why would it all of a sudden be like, I'm gonna snitch on Luffy? To test him? I don't know about that one. Because the reason is so obscure, so there's no reason. So, like, it's not gonna be a theory that I can back until I see a proper good reason for it. All we have so far is that he spoke to the Gorosei about a certain pirate. Why would Luffy be the first object? There's so many other pirates he could have been talking about, like Blackbeard or Kaido or somebody else. Like, there's... If we're leaving it with Luffy instead of not knowing where the fruit is since they thought he would... Never thought you would awaken it. That is just incompetence at the highest level. I mean, they literally are some of the highest ranking people within the world government. They've been saying we can't get this fruit for 800 years. Well, then it's your fucking fault if you're that incompetent, saying not sending admirals after Luffy. And even just with the CP9 guarding the devil fruit in the first place, maybe guard it a little better with some admirals and stuff. Like, it doesn't seem like they tried very hard. So that all seems like a plot convenience until we find out more reason to justify it. And that I will stand by. Luffy versus Naruto. I've never caught up to Naruto, so I have no idea how strong endgame Naruto is, bro. They fear his influence more than the power of, like, Bello Betty. They didn't mention how he brings joy to the people on his side. I guess so, but that would mean, like, this fruit literally gives Luffy his ability to gather allies. I don't like that one. I don't like any of the power kind of seeping into Luffy's personality and his beliefs. I could be wrong. Oda could definitely go that route, but I will say personally, that's not something I would like. I want Luffy to have free will. I want his accomplishments to be still at the core be because of his actions and beliefs. Wonder who was the last user? Probably like the original Joy Boy. I think that has to do with type of conquerors. Unless they didn't think anything of it, like no one awakened. I mean, that's just incompetence, bro. Like, it's either like we call it a plot convenience or that the Gorosei are just fucking incompetent. Like, I think that's, until we get explained more, like that's two ways of looking at it. Either Oda's just writing this as a plot convenience or the Gorosei is just incompetent. Like, we gotta take one of these reasons. Previous user Rocksteady Zebek. That's an interesting take, you know. Not a bad take. I actually kind of like that. Emu is definitely the anti-Joy Boy. Like, it's very clear those two sides went at each other 800 years ago. Luffy's personality being a Zoan quality, I do not like that. Luffy, like, can you imagine like you take a character's personality and identity and sum it up to be a power? That would just completely cheapen their character. The same thing with Destiny, in my opinion. Anything that like then the character's entire story just brought into the reason of Destiny, I think that cheapens their arc and their actions and their beliefs and stuff. So I feel the same way as if this fruit was the reason for Luffy's own personality and actions and the ability to gather allies or something like that. That cheapens the character for me. At least for me. And listen, you people could have different thoughts on it. The fruit knew the boy had the right kind of will. I mean, at that point, then you're saying like it's still Luffy's personality, but then the fruit contributed to it. Like, you don't need the fruit to contribute to it, though. I don't think it needs to. Just make it Luffy, you know? And then, like, you were saying the fruit picked Luffy, then, like, you're saying then more Destiny stuff gets involved. Like, Luffy didn't actually accidentally eat that. Like, he was always meant to eat that for some reason. He's always meant to be this guy. Emu original Joy Boy that turned evil. I don't think so. Nothing makes me believe that. Could be a twist, though. Fruit picked Luffy using the voice of all things? Maybe. Could be possible. Young AMR, what's good, bro? Mr. Kraken, thank you for the super chat. I wonder what the drawbacks on Gear 5th will be. It will be a lot of stamina. Like, his body's gonna get fucked. His rubber body is gonna be stronger, like the Gorosei says, but his imagination is gonna run wild. And there's always drawbacks to every single gear. The fruit picked Luffy based on his personality and dreams. A little hard to explain. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just gonna have to wait and see what actually happens instead of like trying to figure out back and forth. I'm just saying, I just don't want anything like Destiny or the fruit to cheapen Luffy's character and arc, right? As long as that doesn't happen, I'm cool, you know? Right now, we're just all kind of speaking hypotheticals of like what could happen. So until we actually see it, we can't really judge, you know? Roger, Rayleigh, Garp, and Shanks on the Saber of Zebek, due to Shanks crying his cries of an infant tantrum, unleashed a Conqueror's Haki wave by Felt, Roger, Rayleigh, and Garp, leaving Zebek to ask. You lost me with that one, man. You lost me with that one. Can't believe Gorosei saw the member of the D clan in this fruit and chose to ignore. Exactly. And unless we get some other explanation, they're incredibly incompetent, and it's a bit of a plot convenience that they're that incompetent. It's the same thing with the Robin stuff. Where's Blackbeard going? He's got 85 plans himself, man. I have no idea. See, Teddy, like, I thought there was a path to potentially explaining it, right? Because when they talked about not knowing the name, and they were talking about it like it's a rumor, it felt like they just found out this information. So I thought, okay, maybe they didn't know the name until now. They didn't know this information until now for some reason. Maybe Alabasta infiltrated one of the original 20, changed the name to kind of protect it up until now. But the way they're talking about it in this chapter, they're like, oh, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, we've been trying to get it for 800 years and we just can't do it. And it's like, wait, so you knew this whole time and you didn't send Kizaru after Luffy immediately? Like, Monkey D. Luffy, the son of the Revolutionary Army leader, Monkey D. Dragon? You didn't think, like, hey, we should probably go get this kid? Like, so I'm not sure. I'll wait a few more chapters to really see what they say, or like, you know, what if they have more explanation on it. But right now it seems like they're just very fucking incompetent. We kind of know the world government incompetent though, low key. You know, bad guys always have to be a little incompetent to make sure the good guys get lucky and, you know, the story continues slowly. So that I'm not really mad at it. That's why I call it like a plot convenience, because you could just explain it by saying they were incompetent. It's not like a plot hole. I'm not like mad at it. But it is like, I don't really buy that one. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. The fruit is very lucky. More like overconfident. I guess you could explain, but like I just it doesn't completely sell me, you feel me? Man, it's just like my father, bro. I didn't go to get milk, man. I didn't go to get milk at the grocery store. I'm back, bro. I'm back. Don't worry. One Gorosei in the back, stabbing them in the... That would be actually pretty fun. Like, I would love to see actually some like, internal dispute within the world government. Feels a little too perfect. At the same time, like, they rule the world. It should be pretty perfect. Blackbeard, I think Blackbeard is making his own moves. Maybe going to Big Mom. Maybe he's... trying to attack somebody. Like, Blackbeard is just too much of a mystery at this point. Get more devil fruits. That's what he's been doing this whole time as well. Red Potato. What's up, man? Dope name. Biggest mystery in One Piece by a Tontada, Big Mom's Cave. Shanks was 1 year old when God Valley happened. Okay. Shanks' mother was a slave. See, these type of theories where it's like Luffy's mother was a celestial dragon, like there's not enough to back it. It could be true, there's just not enough to back it. You can add up the timelines, but like there's still not enough to really provide like evidence. What will we find in Elbaf? Shanks, red hair pirates, possibly. Usopp might meet the father that left him for the first time in a long time. Luffy technically in his hybrid form this whole time. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, is he in his hybrid form this whole time, or is he in base form using the abilities of his devil fruits? Because we know, like, Orochi was just in his regular form when he got his head cut off, but he still was able to use the mythical zone powers. So it's not like you have to transform to use the powers. So, like, technically, Luffy could have been just in his base form this whole time, using the powers of the zone. And then maybe the gears themselves were probably like a hybrid form where he's actually transforming. I swore thing that Luffy, Mihawk, Emu, Zuni. I think it's just a way of Oda drawing a very focused eyes. Like, I really don't think that's that much. Loki's gonna be big, man. I think Elbaf I've always pushed the idea of Elbaf having Ragnarok because Elbaf is like based off of like Vikings and like mythology and stuff like that. So Ragnarok was led by Loki and giants. So like, you know, that Elbaf could be a massive arc as well. Loki's definitely gonna be a villain for sure. He's already kind of been teased as one. That silhouette of him definitely didn't look good. He didn't look like a good person. Why did Gears have a time limit? I don't remember other zones having a time limit like that. I mean, it's just stamina, right? It's like, think about what they said about it only goes as far as the user's imaginations. Luffy's pushing his imaginations a little too far. So like, he's literally like busting his bones and veins and stuff like that. So there's only so much you could do. He has to bring it under control. That's why I think Gear 5th is going to allow him to literally do whatever the fuck he wants, like transform into a giant and all that sort of stuff. But it's going to cost him a lot of stamina. Not only is Awakening very draining, but the things he's going to do to his body, it's going to fuck him up a little bit. More than a little bit, probably. You know what would be plot twist? Shanks not dying. Yeah, so many people want Shanks to die, man. Shanks dying, like, a lot of people want Shanks to die. Like, maybe he just goes back to Fuchsia Village, kicks it back with Makino and his son, you know? He could fulfill like a Rayleigh type of role. Why not? Yeah, Shanks, I feel like people just want death in One Piece and impactful deaths, and Shanks will be a pretty big one. The one I do not buy, though, the one that I will never get behind, is Shiryu killing Mihawk and then Zoro having to defeat Shiryu. That would be robbing us of literally Zoro's goal since day one. That doesn't make any sense to me. Put an end to the cycle of deadbeats, yes. Shanks will be the one. He's the chosen one to actually be a good father for once. They killed Ace, so they will not kill Shanks. I mean, I think Oda will kill off people when it's necessary. Although he's very reluctant. But when necessary, he will do that. Well, is that in the plan for Shanks? Maybe. Maybe not, though. Luffy has said he has peaked. No, I mean, he has to figure things out still. This is his best version of himself, but he has to now utilize it properly, figure out what different things to come up with. I don't think there will be a Gear 6, but he has to control it and really use the powers properly. I think that's the next step to defeat Blackbeard and the world government and all that kind of stuff. If Blackbeard got Big Mom's fruit, what objects do you think he will put his souls into? Booze. I don't know, man. Maybe he could just create a whole bunch of homies, man. Who's Shanks' son? It's not confirmed, but a lot of people think Makino's son is Shanks' son because those two were very, very friendly. I cried and was sad for 2 days when Ace died. I was spoiled and I still cried, bro. I would have fucking played us. He probably thought he peaked when he developed Gear 4th. True, yeah. He's just on a high right now. Like, can you imagine? He almost died and he got back and he's got this crazy ability. So he's on a high right now. Shanks for Straw Hat? No, he don't need to do that. No reason for that. Did Orochi die? He did not. We saw him screaming in pain. Will he die? I think so, but I've always said, the Kurozumi thing, you have to resolve properly, because this whole thing started because the people of Wano were hunting Kurozumi, so they brought this onto themselves, so that has to be resolved in some way. Luffy on crack does hit different, man. He's a different animal out here. Awakening is through death, but body's still intact, so Sabo might awaken into blue flames. I don't know if I want... I mean, maybe, because blue flames has been the elevation and thing. Sanji having a Ifrit Janbei being blue, though, that is so cool. I cannot wait to see that in the anime. That is one episode I will not miss, because that is so amazing. Who'll be Shogun? Momonosuke, possibly. Hiyori. One of those two. I'm not set on one or the other right now, to be honest. 2 hours and 14 minutes. I'm getting pretty hungry. I gotta make some wings tonight. I'm not sure I'm gonna do Korean sauce or just a classic buffalo. But I gotta eat some food soon. It's 8 o'clock over here now. I'm gonna wrap things up, so get your final questions in. And we're gonna wrap things up. Next video probably not gonna drop until Tuesday because I'm going away for the weekend for my sister's birthday weekend. But yeah, next I'm gonna be dropping a lot more videos on this chapter for sure. Chapter review is already out, so if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. The video unfortunately did corrupt and it's audio only, but it was a 17-minute video still. Gave a lot of thoughts in there. So anything I didn't talk about in this stream, I definitely talked about in that video. Gear 5th whenever he wants. It probably takes a lot out of him. Like Law and Kid still get drained, so he could do it, but it's gonna drain him. How long I've been watching? Since I picked up One Piece in 2016, summer of 2016, I believe. Luffy's changing eyes. I think that's just Luffy going crazy and being really focused. Good introduction. Was it well introduced? It was hype. I think it was good, well set up. Oda kind of built towards it with the Gorosei and who's who. I think it was good. Emma is stronger than Yoru? Nah, Yoru is a black blade and a supreme grade blade. So it's definitely a higher grade at the very least. Emma is special, but Yoru is by definition the stronger blade, the better blade. Wano will be a republic. That would be pretty interesting. What's going on with Zoro? I genuinely have no clue. I've always said this. As soon as the Grim Reaper showed up and it wasn't Brook, I had no idea what was happening. Sanji get blue flames. No, it's blue, bro. Check the cover, the next volume cover. His Ifrit Jambe is blue and it's fire. It looks like Marco's. Enjoy my wings. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's still gonna, I'm gonna bake them. So it's gonna take a while. Maybe I just throw them in the air fryer for like 20 minutes. That'll be a little faster. Maybe I'll just do that instead. Gear second reveal stack up to the other two. I mean, this is legendary, man. Like the fact that it's a different fruit altogether, it surpasses everything, I think. Believe Luffy Toon World, the Toon World assumption. Nah, I think Oda was just having fun. Oda was just like laughing like Luffy. He was just in his bag having fun. Doflamingo used stamina for his awakening pretty easily. Yeah, he could build up to it, but it's all, you also got to remember like what he's doing to his body is going to take a toll. Like his gears took a toll on his body. So like that's going to happen probably as well in his awakening. So it's not just stamina. Marco for Nakama. I think Marco's retired at this point. He barely wants to be here. He's just kind of supporting, man. He's done. He's done. At this point, Mihawk might be a mythical. Nah, I don't think so. He's a swordsman. He doesn't need a sewing. Will Luffy have another power up with his imagination? Possibilities are endless, my friend. Possibilities are endless. Dofi coming back eventually. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this stream, y'all. Fun stream, fun discussion, over 2 hours. Once again, as always, thank you for a fun stream. Hope you guys all have a good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are. Thank you for joining the stream. Next video probably drop on Tuesday. Go check out the chapter review if you have not already. We'll be back on stream next Friday for One Piece chapter 1045. I'm sure it's gonna be another banger. Building off of this climax into Luffy versus Kaido. But as always, take care, everybody, and peace out. Later.